Debbie Wasserman Schultz apparently just found out what a bathroom is, and she is very upset that the detainees at Alligator Alcatraz have them. So, this past weekend, a cohort of Democrats went down to Florida to tour Alligator Alcatraz, and as you can imagine, they are spinning this to the worst possible conclusions that they can. Take a look at how Debbie Wasserman Schultz began her press conference immediately after the tour.
We saw the conditions that we saw inside this internment camp, which it is nothing less than that description, were really appalling. I'll walk you through just a few of the really egregious, disturbing, disgusting conditions. They are using cages. These detainees are living in cages. The pictures that you've seen don't do it justice. They are essentially packed into cages, wall-to-wall humans, 32 detainees per cage. That is the only thing inside those cages are their bunk beds, and there are 3 tiny toilets that are toilet units that have a sink attached to it.
So, notice how she immediately compares it to an internment camp. As if the never-ending comparisons to Hitler, the Holocaust, and Auschwitz aren't already trite and tired. But, she has to appease the radical portion of her base. Unfortunately, though, most people don't pay attention that closely to politics, especially in non-election years. So I just want to point out, this is from NPR, Obama to ask Congress for $2 billion to ease immigration crisis. And let's take a closer look at that photo. What is that? Oh, it's a cage. And I don't know about you, but to me, that looks like a lot more than 32 people. Now, you'll notice the porta potties back in the corner, which I personally think are a lot grosser than normal toilets. And, by now, we've all seen the photos of Alligator Alcatraz. And in fact, Debbie Wasserman Schultz mentioned that they have bunk beds, which means that the mattresses aren't on the floor, unlike how they were under Barack Obama. It's not just NPR. CNN at the time, Obama vows urgent action as children make perilous illegal journey into the U.S. And in fact, when children were separated from their parents, they were put in those cages as well. That's why CNN blurred that photo, because everyone in that photo was a minor. It wasn't just Barack Obama. This also happened under Joe Biden. The BBC, child migrants. First photos emerge of Biden-era detention centers. Again, this looks a lot worse than what Alligator Alcatraz looks like. Again, they're sitting on the ground. They don't even have proper blankets. They're in foil blankets. And Ted Cruz at the time, this was during COVID, he actually went down to visit one of these detention centers strictly for kids, minors who were separated from their parents, and Biden administration officials tried to shoo him away.
Please give dignity to the people. Please give dignity to the people.
So you work for the commissioner, your senior advisor. You were hired 2 weeks ago, and you're instructed to ask us to not have any pictures taken here.
Please respect the people,
because the political
rules.
Leadership at DHS does not want the American people to know it.
Please respect the rules,
You keep
sir.
standing in front of the pictures, so
Please
you don't want the
respect the
pictures
rules.
taken. The rules are arbitrary, and
Please
they're designed
respect the
to keep
rules
the
and
American
give the people
in the dark.
dignity and respect. That's all we ask.
Well,
Dignity
no, it's
and
not.
respect.
You're asking, is this
Please-
dignity and respect? Look at
Please
these people.
give
There's
dignity
a
and
pandemic.
respect to the people.
Let me ask you, there's a
I
pandemic.
respectfully ask you, sir.
There is a pandemic. Is
Full-hearted,
this respecting the rights of these
full-heartedly, I
kids?
ask you. Please
Are you
respect
respecting the
people.
rights of these
This
kids?
is not a zoo, sir. Please don't treat the people.
You're right, and this is a
as such.
dangerous place.
Please don't treat the
And
people
your
like
policies,
this. That's all I ask for
unfortunately,
you,
are
sir.
trying to hide them. I understand
That's
you
all
were
I ask
instructed
you.
when 18
I
senators
ask you
came
to
down
please
here.
respect the people, give them dignity
I
and
respect
respect.
them, and I want to fix this situation.
We all want
and
to fix
the
this, sir. We
administration
don't
you're
want
working
this to
for is
happen anymore.
responsible for these conditions.
Please respect the people with dignity and respect,
And
sir.
I ask you to respect the people as well. This
I am
is not
respecting you.
respect.
I am respecting the
This
people.
is not respect.
They're all crowded together, packed like sardines, all on the floor, no bunk beds, those foil blankets. And again, this is in the middle of the pandemic. If this is how they were treated, if these were the conditions during the pandemic, and we all know the left was all about social distancing, stay away from me, wear a mask. If that was the condition in those detention centers during the pandemic for children, how bad do you think the conditions actually were, during non-pandemic years? So obviously, Debbie Wasserman Schultz and the rest of the Democrats are hypocrites about all of this. But she got even more upset when she started talking about the toilets, the drinking water. Basically, she found out that bathrooms are a thing. Yes, bathrooms exist, and they have them.
So they essentially drink, they get their drinking water and they brush their teeth, where they poop in the same unit. They bragged that they went above standards, supposedly, and gave them a 3-foot privacy wall that stretches the length inside the 32 detainee cage, a 3-foot privacy wall that stretches the length of the 3 toilets.
I have news for Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Not only do I poop and brush my teeth in the same unit, I also shower there. Again, it's called a bathroom. And guess what? If I expand my arms like this and do a wingspan, arm span, I like the distance between the toilet to my sink is actually not even both arms. It's like half my head and this arm. Like I can touch the edge of the sink right there. I also just want to point out, I am not a plumber, but I'm pretty sure that the water that comes out of your faucet is the same water that goes into your toilet, which is the same water that comes out of the shower. It all comes from the same water source. Now, she's complaining there that they're all in that same unit, but is she talking about prison reform? Because look, prison reform, believe it or not, is something I'm actually passionate about, but like, take a look at this. The toilets and the sinks in our prisons for American citizens oftentimes look like this. This is just your average cell. You can see the bunk beds there, and then you can see again that same unit, a singular sink and toilet. So is Debbie Wasserman Schultz advocating for non-citizens to have better holding conditions than American citizens in jails and prisons? Because at least be consistent here. Look, if you were turning a blind eye to Barack Obama and Joe Biden's detention centers, how could you possibly, in good faith, criticize President Trump's? At least they get air conditioning. They have actual beds, bunk beds. The mattresses aren't on the floors. Oh, and they also have actual toilets rather than a porta potty. It's one thing for people like Glenn Beck and Ted Cruz to be quiet right now. It makes sense that they would have been critical of Obama and Biden, but if conditions are better now, they don't have a reason to complain like they did back then. That is not hypocritical, but the same cannot be said of Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Now, to clarify, because I know some people are going to pick up on this, when I said I'm all for prison reform, I don't think that prisoners should live in a mansion or like have the best housing or anything like that. I'm just a proponent. When I talk about prison reform, I think we need to talk more about actually reforming and rehabilitating prisoners, as most of them return to our communities. And I think that so much is focused on the punitive aspect and not the rehabilitation aspect, and making sure that they're able to reintegrate properly with society. So I just wanted to clarify that. But it wasn't just Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Like I said, it was a cohort of Democrats. One of them was Representative Maxwell Frost, who took to social media afterwards, did a live stream as he was driving away. And his video, his stream, actually has over 7.8 million views across all of his social media platforms. Here's what he posted, then we'll debunk it on the other side.
They opened the door. There was about 6 security guards standing there kind of pushing us back, but we could see in and we could hear everybody. And when those doors opened, you know, what I saw made my heart sink. I saw 32 people per cage, about 6 cages in the one tent. I saw a lot of people, young men who looked like me and people who were my age. People were yelling, "Help me, help me." I heard in the back someone say, "I'm a U.S. citizen." And as we were walking away, they started chanting, "Libertad, libertad, libertad, freedom." And in looking into these cages, you could see, of course, it was warm and hot within the tent. People were sweating. Some people had taken off the top of their clothing because it was just so hot. Some of them were drenched in sweat. The food we saw is not enough food. They're being fed essentially a small sandwich and a bag of chips. And not just that, but the conditions outside, of course, it's blazing hot. And the fact that into the cage comes from the toilet. Number one, not everyone's going to be able to drink as much water as they'd like to because of that inconvenience, but also it's gross and it's disgusting. And this is where people are being held.
Again, yeah, he was totally silent, did not say a peep under Barack Obama, under Joe Biden, and obviously a lot of those points are already debunked as far as we do know the inside is air conditioned. Of course it's hot outside. It's in the Florida Everglades. I don't know like what point he's trying to make about how hot it is outside. Again, he may call it gross and disgusting, but it is undoubtedly better than Barack Obama and Joe Biden's detention centers. And by the way, this is just a temporary holding facility. It's not as if they're staying in these conditions forever. And what I mean by temporary is the reason they built Alligator Alcatraz where they did, they built it on an abandoned airstrip because they could hold everyone there, process them, and then put them on a plane and have that plane take off on that airship and send them back to their home country. So it's not as if they're being detained here indefinitely or for long periods of time. It is very, very temporary. Last but not least, the Democrats are already promoting horror stories from some of the detainees. Now, don't get me wrong. I believe that every credible accusation, credible being the keyword, should be investigated, right? We do not want a repeat of Abu Ghraib. Now, I get that this isn't Abu Ghraib, but like if there's an accusation of wrongdoing or mistreatment, yeah, look into it. We are a first world country. We're America. I believe, similar to when it comes to personal character, right? I think what you do as a person, as an individual, behind closed doors when no one is looking, that really says a lot about your character, right? I think the same is true on a countrywide level. How we treat people in these detention centers says a lot about who we are as a people. So again, I believe that we need to look into credible accusations. But so far, none of the accusations against these detention centers appear credible. Take a look. This is one that was actually broadcast on MSNBC, and at first you might be going, oh, and then one accusation comes out that is so ridiculous that it just pours cold water on the rest of it.
Soy Leancy La Figura.
Leancy Izquierdo on the phone describing what it's like inside the so-called Alligator Alcatraz. Says he's been at the detention facility out in the Everglades since Friday.
Aquí no hay agua para uno bañarse.
No water to bathe, he says. It's been 4 days since he showered. 400 people, he believes, are inside the facility.
Te dan comida una sola al día, comida que ha traído hasta gusano.
Only gets fed once a day, he says, and some of the food had worms. Detention center lights are on 24/7.
Los mosquitos parecen elefantes.
The mosquitoes, he says, are the size of elephants.
Él es residente permanente, sí.
The size of elephants. Yeah, like when he talked about the food, I was like, worms in the food. Okay, we need to definitely look into that, make sure that's not the case. I know they're getting, for a fact, that they're getting more than one meal a day because all other reporting complains about the portion size, but not how many meals they're actually getting. But I'm sorry, if you just start talking about mosquitoes the size of elephants, that really discredits all of your other accusations right there. And a lot of the other allegations are similar to that. And the thing is, he was speaking in his native tongue, right? It's not as if it was lost in translation. That's what he said. So, yeah. As always, though, all of that is just my analysis and commentary. That is what's going on in the world of politics from my point of view, and I would love to hear from you. So I revealed something new about myself, something I know for a fact I've never talked about the channel, just because there hasn't really been the opportune time to talk about it. But for me, one of the issues that is important is prison reform. I'm not here to debate that or defend that on this video. That's a video for another topic if people are interested. But I guess for you, what's sort of an issue that's not being talked about that is important to you? Yeah, just share your thoughts on issues you think need to be talked about and why. And basically, the reason I'm asking is, number one, I still do read all the comments. Would love to learn more about all of you, especially those of you who I know comment regularly. I recognize and remember usernames. And on top of that, like, if you're interested about something, I want to keep those news stories on my radar so I can, you know, try to work it into videos whenever I can. If you haven't already, please be sure to leave me a thumbs up. I know it's a simple thing to ask for, but it really does help me reach more viewers like you in the algorithm. Be sure to smash that subscribe button and to check out one of these videos.